All right, so he wants a 4 on top, and a 4 is good because it's still gonna keep it dark. As you can see, it's only gonna cut a little bit. And these type of haircuts, you should be able to do them relatively fast. Now, being fast doesn't mean that you're rushing it. And you're gonna see, like, you should be able to tell by my strokes that I'm not really rushing it. Like, I'm not going like this on his hair. I'm not going, yeah, the strokes, huh? The idea is you wanna do your steps efficiently. I get asked this question a lot. Why do I use different methods for different haircuts? Like, for example, should I use the 2-guard method? Should I use the 3-guard method on this haircut? And the plain answer is you just do whatever works for you. And I know how to do all the other different methods because I understand fading and I understand hair. And the only reason why I upload different haircut tutorials using different methods is strictly only to teach you whether one might work for you or not. For Jay's specific hair, we're gonna see that this area looks darker than this area and this area. So right now his haircut doesn't look good. The idea is this has to be the darkest point of the fade. And you see how his lineup is barely visible? If I were to line up his C-cups, they wouldn't be dark unless I pushed them back, unless I did this with his hair. Right? And then take all this off. If I do this with his hair, then his C-cups start getting darker. Now, obviously, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna dig in his hair. So with his specific haircut, I like to bald him out to the bottom of the lineup. Stay as close to the ear as possible. Most people, they'll go here like this, but you're gonna give yourself very little room to fade and your fade's not gonna look good, right? So I like giving myself around 3 fingers room to fade. So I'm gonna keep it close to the ear, just like this. And something that I say in every single video is we're going to go under the occipital bone. Why are we gonna go under the occipital bone? Well, that's just the best way to fade. Look down a little bit, Jay. So his bone is right here, and we're going about a finger, a thumb underneath. And we're only gonna do one side, just for the sake of time and just to show you guys that it should be relatively simple. Now we're gonna work in sections, okay? And I'm gonna give you guys the best visualization possible. So our first section is going to be the half guard. And for this section, we're gonna go up and out, up and out, up and out, okay? So you guys can see that's a big line right there. The next section is going to be with our half guard, okay? And we're gonna go up and out, up and out, up and out, and one more up and out. Cool. So you can still see a little bit of the line and another line that we just made. The first section is no guard lever open. The second section is 0.5 guard lever open. The next section is going to be 1.5 guard lever open, and the last section is going to be a 3. So this next section right here is the 1.5 guard with the lever open. The lever stays open. Now we're gonna go up and out, up and out, up and out. And now the last section is going to be with the 3-guard lever open. We're gonna go up, out, up, out, up, out. And the idea of why I'm going up and out is because I want you guys to see that it's a lot harder to fade when you go up and out, and it's a lot easier to fade when you blend out properly. So this, we're gonna leave it like that, right? And now instead of going up, we're gonna go down. And I'm gonna explain to you guys why I like blending down as opposed to blending up. So now we're gonna start with the 3. And I'm gonna try not to blend this area right here. So the idea with this 3, like I said, is we want to make sure that this area is lighter than this area because this has to be the darkest area. So let me do that with the rest of the head. And I'm not rushing it. I'm not rushing it. I'm just being as efficient as possible. Cool. Now, underneath that 3 is our 1.5 guard. So we're gonna go underneath exactly what we just did with our 1.5 guard. And the idea is that we're blending out away, right? So as I'm going up here, my hand is taking the clipper away from his head, right? I'm not doing this, I'm not digging in. I'm going up and out. This is a C motion, right? This is a C motion, you see that? See how I'm creating a C? That's the C motion. People think it's this, it's not this. You're gonna create hard lines if you don't do it properly. Is that a way of doing it? Yes, it's a way of doing it. But like I said, you're gonna create more hard lines if you don't know how to do it. So we're doing smooth and efficient strokes. And on top of that, we're doing very, very, very light pressure. We're not going crazy with the pressure. I'm letting the clipper do its job. I'm letting the blade do its job. I'm not digging into his head, making sure that all the hairs are cut. Because when you start digging in, that's when you're gonna start messing up the cut. Now our 0.5 guard, we're gonna go under our 1.5 guard. And this is all with the lever open. All of these guards have been with the lever open. Okay, now this is the only clipper that I like to close the lever on. So now I'm gonna close my lever all the way and I'm gonna go around this area right here. Look down a little bit. I'm always constantly asking my clients to look down. I'm not the tallest person in the world, but it's just for a better view, better angle. Okay, I made a little bit of a hard line around this area, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the lever. I'm gonna get it with my corners. Cool, now we're gonna take the lever or the clip off and we're gonna go lever all the way open. Very soft, very smooth. Still same motion. The higher we go up his head, the more we're gonna take it away from his head. Now we're gonna close the lever halfway. This is the second time that we close the lever. The first time was with the 0.5 guard, and now with this no guard. And now, all the way close. And I know the fade probably doesn't look good right now because your eyes probably don't know what to see because this side is not faded yet and this side is. But this is basically how I do a haircut quickly. When you blend down, the idea is you only use each guard one time. We use our 3 guard one time, we use our 1.5 guard one time, and we used our 0.5 guard one time. And look at how faded it is. Now, can we come back and detail the fade a little bit more? Yes, 100%. Now I have to come back and use other guards to get rid of these lines. So blending up is ideal once you're learning how to fade, so you can see your guidelines, so you make sure that you don't go too high up. But blending down is better for efficiency and for time. And if you wanted to blend it up, on top of using the guards once, you're gonna have to go back and use the 0.5 again a second time. You're gonna have to go use the 1.5 guard again a second time, and the 3 guard again a second time. And it might not sound like it'll waste a lot of time, but it will. All right, so now we're gonna blend this down. This is the 3. Now this is the 1.5. Now this is the 0.5. Always light pressure, and we're not rushing. Now all the way close, lever all the way close. That's the first time we close the lever. The 0.5 guard is the most important guard because it's basically the only guard that you're actually going to start closing your lever on. Now we're going to take the 0.5 guard off. We're going to put the lever all the way open, and we're going to start fading this down little by little. All the way closed. David, what's good, bro? And now the fade is done. All we gotta do is detail now. And I'm gonna detail it off camera and I'm gonna show you guys the final results. All I'm doing with my scissors is trying to get dark spots. That's all I'm doing. So if I see something looks a little too dark, all I'm gonna do is lighten it up. Because at the end of the day, this is something that I like to talk about on my Instagram videos. A fade is like a rainbow of grayscale. So the bottom part is white, and as you get to the top, it keeps getting darker and darker and darker. So making sure that your fade is good literally just consists of your eye being able to see white, light gray, regular gray, dark gray, and black. And a rainbow only looks good because each part is proportionate. The white part is this much, the light part is this much, the gray part is this much, the dark gray and the black, they're all the same amount. That's what makes the blend well. If your white part is that big and your black part is that big and everything in the middle is like this big, it won't look good. So getting good at fading is literally just being proportionate and learning to differentiate each part of the rainbow, the grayscale. Okay, let me bald you out. So this is what's gonna get that white part at the bottom super, super white. And getting this really, really bald, but still flicking out as you get close to that zero line is essential to making sure that your fade looks like Instagram ready. We're gonna make sure we bald this area right here. Right here, boom. And then right here, we're gonna make sure we get this little line with our corners. And that's it. That's our final product. I'm at a little bit of hairspray right here. Make his hair lay down. And the idea with having his hair laid down is that if I wanted to take a picture, it's gonna hide his scalp and it's gonna make the top look darker. And like I just said, when the bottom looks white and the top looks black, that's when the fade looks better. If I were to comb his hair over here and then comb his hair over there, you see how like that part doesn't look good? You see how it looks white, gray, dark, dark, and light right here in the middle? That's why if you comb it down and everything looks black and everything looks uniform, that's when the haircut starts looking better. Train your eye to see these the different parts of the fade, and just think of it like a rainbow and make sure that each part of your fade is proportionate. And mess around with, sometimes the white is gonna be a tiny bit thinner than the gray area. The gray area is the most important part. The gray area is literally where the fade happens because the white is just a 0. That's it. And then the top is just whatever number they want. You can't mess the top, you can't mess the bottom up. Literally the middle, the sandwich part in between, that's the most important part, and that's what fading is.